Right. Usually before shows, obviously, we've got to prepare. We've got a matinee where there's one screen downstairs, one screen upstairs. Basically, it's getting it all ready. Now, this film is from last night and needs to be rewound. I have been out of the business, but you get withdrawal symptoms because this job is a good job. I mean, you're independent. True, you don't see people from, day to day sometimes, but at the same time, you've got your own independence. It teaches you to think ahead, to do things in a uniform manner. Clean projectors, give them run-ins, oil them, grease them, and there's never one week that's the same as the next. There's difference, whereas if you're doing a 9-to-5 job, you're constantly doing the same meticulous job. Even though you're doing that from one week to another week, when you get a change of film, it changes with it. It's a shame to miss the old one. I mean, it puts the power onto managers thinking, oh, we can do that instead. But they can't. There's still a lot to do besides just loading a hard drive. You've still got to script it. And I can see the day where eventually it'll be on the front desk where the box office is. They'll say, take your ticket, and then they'll just press a button. And that'll be it all starting, because really this has got capabilities of being timed. You can put it on the timer, so I could bugger off home, set it all up, and it'll kick off at a certain time, straight into the film. It does people out of work. It does the projectionists out of work. It's just a case of bang, on with the feature, off with the feature, go down and sell some popcorn while you're at it. Nowadays, because multiplexes want money, they don't care how they employ people. And nowadays, a projectionist in a multiplex isn't a projectionist, he's also a popcorn seller, ticket. Tears tickets as well, and they float around on that sort of regime. I've always learned that in projection, you've got to have your head screwed on, and you need to have 100% attention with it, because if you don't, mistakes are made. But obviously these multiplexes have got different ideas, and mistakes are made, films are ruined. I mean, it don't take long to ruin a film. It depends how it goes through your fingers. If you've got a nail sticking out, you can scratch the film and totally ruin it. Happy-go-lucky upstairs for the first 5 minutes, there's a whopping great scratch right down the centre of it. Obviously somebody had a ring, or they had a bit of dirt in between the gate, or there was something there, something for him, and it scratched the print. I mean, in this job you've got to keep clean, and you've got to make the effort of cleaning things. Same thing up here. This time we start 2 minutes early, so we can get back downstairs and sort that one out. We show a lot of foreign films, old films, so basically we can go into 175, 166, which is French sometimes, and then we go right down to the old films, which is Academy. Multiplexes don't have these formats. It's just a case of keeping ahead of yourself, basically. You know what you need to do, so you've got to sort of do it. That's comfortably rewinding upstairs. Gives me time to come down here, sort this program out, get everything up and running for the audience to come in. The house lights are on, stage lights are on, music is playing. These are high pressure Xenon lamps, and you can't afford to open them up because they'd explode. So basically it's always kept closed. 500 volts going through, and it knocks through to the system and knocks me out, so I say it shouldn't do, but it does. That's why I tend to strike it early, so some poor unfortunate soul who's reading the paper in the cinema doesn't get in darkness. It's bad practice. Quite embarrassing. Sorry about that, it wasn't supposed to happen. Right. Alright, just check on this. I'm ready. Lights are up, music's on, I'm happy. Just check my tension and then we can go downstairs. Don't have to worry about this till about a quarter of an hour later. But like I said, because ads and trailers are 15 minutes, I'm going to make sure I start downstairs 2 minutes later than normal and then start up here 2 minutes earlier so I can get back downstairs to get ready to change over to the main feature downstairs. I've got the phone ringing, so I'll answer that. Hello? And they've gone. What you're actually seeing on screen is 2/96 of a second where it's actually shown to the public, and 2/96 of actually nothing shown. So what happens, it goes through the gate. If you can imagine one solitary little frame going through the gate, it's at 1/24th, but during that 1/24th the lights cut, not even a 24th, 1/96th of a second, the frame is pulled into the main view area, and then the light is brought on for a 48th of a second, and then it's cut off for a 48th of a second. No, it's projected twice. Sorry, go through that again. Because at 1/24th of a second, a person could actually perceive movement. Once upon a time they used to run at 1/24th of a second, and there was the other, like ghosting. Well, they come up to the bright idea, if we showed it twice and cut it off twice, it would actually give the impression that there is movement. All the reels come in approximately 20-minute spools, and it's up to the projectionist to put it in its correct order. So adverts come separately. Again, projectionist has got to put the adverts together. We get trailers from different sources, so we put trailers in. We've got to evaluate that what type of show have we got. We got a U presentation, we can't go showing a 15 or 18 trailer with it. Wouldn't be right. So we got to take these sort of things into consideration. That's it. The kettle's boiled, so I'm making that. Too many things can go wrong with film. For a start, it's nylon, or to make it simpler, plastic. I mean, plastic that comes in touch with metal components, metal runners, metal traps, tends to scratch. So really, the customer, if they don't see the film on day one as a brand new release, it's deteriorating from that point onwards. You know, by the time day 7 comes, you may have a few scratches, bit of scuffing that's gone through the projector, and it does show on screen. Digital, it's pure through and through. The customer gets a pure copy that the director's set out by his own format, you know, by his own light, colour, grading techniques, and it's pure in that form. So basically a customer, when they're watching digital, are watching it as the director intended, whereas on film it goes through printing processes. Colour can degrade and degenerate, you can get slight blue colours with it, but digital, it's pure because it goes from the editing suite directly onto hard drive. That's it. The hard drive comes on a small little small box, no weight at all, where you can be struggling with film, no, which is quite heavy. Bit sidetracked, thinking I better go upstairs. Pronto.
scream of terror. Wow, I like that. Every laugh out loud.
We're alright at the moment, got about a minute or so.
There's some kind of incident with an old boiler. Is that true?
Oh yeah. I was working in the old Odeon cinemas, and they had a boiler, oil-fired burners, and basically how we opened this particular boiler was it had like a cemented front with a little window where you had to unblock that, take it off, and then whip inside, physically try to slide yourself through a little hole about that big. Get inside, you obviously had boiler soot on, and you had to clean it out. Whipped inside, thinking it was off, getting down to the job and mucking out, which you were in a crouched position. Suddenly heard the motor kick in for firing the boiler. Well, how I got out that hole, I don't know. I literally squeezed myself out because I knew a couple of seconds after that went off, it fired. And sure enough, it fired soon after. And then there was also the fact when I was over the Cannon Warsaw, their staff room was at the top of the building, and they had